Hey, it's Hunt. You found Hunt on Saints. We're talking black and gold football. Do us a favor. Hit the like button, share your comments below, and hit that subscription button so you can get all of our content. Enjoy. There's a new odds out for Daniel Jones and where his next landing place is going to be over there at Bet Online. And the Saints are at 25-1. They're on the list here. And I looked at that, and it's not a terrible thought because the Saints have brought in former starters to be backups over the years. It started obviously with Jameis. Winston was here. Teddy Bridgewater was here as well. Brought in Andy Dalton. They've had some guys that have come in that have been starters elsewhere that are now coming off that huge contract and are career backups at that point. And it feels like that's Daniel Jones' destiny. I don't think there is anybody that's really rushing to make him the face of their franchise at this point. That's fair to say. And the Saints certainly aren't in that position right now, although we don't know exactly what Derek Carr's future holds. But is it worth bringing him in as a potential backup and a low risk guy to bring in, very similar to Jameis and Teddy Bridgewater? I just think no. I right now, as I look at the Saints, I think that they've probably got a quality NFL backup on their roster. I don't think they've got a future starter between Spencer Rattler and Jake Haener. I think that's ambitious. But I think there's a realistic chance that one of those two guys is a very solid backup quarterback. And the Saints have needed backup quarterbacks over the years. You're talking about a franchise that had Drew Brees get injured a little bit later in his career. We've seen, obviously, Derek Carr go down both years. He's been the starter here. Like, the backup quarterback is somebody that you need at times to come in, be functional, and help you stay afloat. The Saints clearly did not stay afloat this year, so that would be one strike against these two guys as potential backup quarterbacks. But I think they have a chance. I don't think that there's enough potential upside with Daniel Jones to bring him in to hope on a wishing star that he becomes, hey, the next starter after Derek Carr moves forward. You have a new coach coming in January or February, and that coach is very likely going to immediately begin assessing the quarterback situation and trying to find out who he wants to align himself with. Maybe it's Derek Carr. Maybe it's somebody in the draft. Maybe the Saints think they can throw something up in free agency for somebody who's toward the back end of their career that might be available in the way that Kirk Cousins became available, in the way that Phillip Rivers locked on someone. Like, just name your potential source. The new coach is probably going to try to address quarterback in some capacity because Derek Carr is probably only going to be the quarterback one more year, if I had to guess. I just don't think Daniel Jones is the answer to any of these questions. I don't think he's a significant upgrade over Rattler or Haener. I don't think he is a likely budding starter. I don't think he really brings much of anything. Daniel Jones is what he is because some organization decided to take him early in the first round. You've seen some of these draft takes. I mean, Todd McShay's was pretty famous on Twitter saying, I don't know what the Giants are seeing here. Everything that I see on tape suggests he's a backup quarterback in this league. They took him in the top 10 picks. And so it's not a guy that I think a lot of teams in the league are clamoring to bring in to their organization. He's made a ton of money. The Giants are going to foot the vast majority of that. But to me, there's not really an upside here with the Saints. If they did not have a backup quarterback, I would maybe suggest that that's a guy that you could bring in on the cheap. But they've got a couple of guys that they've invested some time and resources into, and I think are plenty good enough to make things happen. So I don't see a viable path for Daniel Jones coming to New Orleans. I don't think it makes a whole lot of sense. So essentially what I'm telling you here is 25-1 odds sounds like a pretty good return. I wouldn't place that wager down at betonline.ag. But you can read about it right now at louisianasports.net. Our guy Ross Jackson did a great job of kind of breaking down what he thought about the situation as it revolved around the Saints. So you can check that out over at louisianasports.net right now. Hey, it's on. Thanks for watching Hunt on Saints. Before you leave, help us out a little bit. Hit that like button, leave your comments in the section below, and hit that subscribe button so you get all our content right here from Hunt on Saints. We'll see you next time.